भारत पूरी दृढ़ता से देश की एक एक इंच जमीन की रक्षा करेगा।
Border tensions between India and China are escalating once again.
Indian and Chinese troops clashed in the Tawang sector in Arunachal Pradesh on the 9th of December.
चाइना के इस प्रयास का हमारी सेना ने दृढ़ता के साथ सामना किया और भारतीय सेना ने बहादुरी से पीएलए को हमारी टेरिटरी में अतिक्रमण करने से रोका।
According to new satellite images that have been released by a researcher, China is reportedly building a new dam.
Diplomatically, we have been very clear. We have been very clear with the Chinese that we will not tolerate, we will not countenance attempts to unilaterally change the line of actual control.
Hi everybody, China has been intruding our borders.
Video has surfaced of a skirmish in a disputed region on the India-China border.
These clashes that we've heard reports about for years along the border between the world's two most populous nations that both happen to have nuclear weapons.
And while India had been ignoring the Northeast till 2015, this 60 years of ignorance of the northeastern states has resulted into such a critical state today that now China has much easier access to the Northeast than the states of India themselves. In fact, if you look at the map, you will see that they are building not just highways, but even rails and even 5G towers near the state of Arunachal Pradesh. And we all know what China does to all the territories that it keeps an eye on. And if you don't remember, here's a glimpse of the same.
China had become a totalitarian state. No competing ideologies were tolerated by the governing Communist Party. This is one of over 1,000 Tibetan monasteries destroyed during that time.
But just 25 years on, Hong Kong is now a police state, with thousands arrested, jailed, or forced to flee.
分裂是祖国统一的最大障碍。祖国完全统一的历史任务一定要实现，也一定能够实现。
We saw this with Hong Kong, Taiwan, and now we are seeing the same with Arunachal Pradesh. So now you already understand how critical this situation is. Which is why in this episode today, let's try to understand why has China set its eyes on our seven sisters, why is it critical and difficult for India to handle this situation, and most importantly, does the current government really care about the Northeast, or is it yet another marketing gimmick to win the elections? This video is brought to you by Study IQ, but more on this at the end of the video. To understand the depth of the Indo-China situation in the Northeast, we first have to understand the core reasons as to why the northeastern states of India have not developed as much as the other states. The first reason for the same is the geography of the region, and the historic developments is the British times. You see, if you look at the state like Gujarat, Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, ever since the British times, they had some of the busiest ports in the country, which are the Surat port, Chennai port and Mumbai ports. So by default, trade and commerce prospered in this region because they were the gateway for the Brits to trade with the world. But if you look at the northeastern states, they have been geographically isolated from the rest of the country due to both their location and their terrain. If you look at this map, you will see that the northeastern states are bordered by Bhutan, China and Myanmar from all sides, and the only thing that connects the rest of India with these seven sisters is this tiny strip of land known as the Chicken's Neck. This land strip is just 22 kilometers wide at its narrowest point. On top of that, this region is very hilly and mountainous with a rugged terrain that makes transportation and communication very difficult. Secondly, there is a massive flooding problem in the northeast, and the simplest way to understand this would be to compare the average rainfall of northeast versus other states in India. And if you look at the numbers, you will see that while Tamil Nadu has an average rainfall of 995 mm, UP stands at 1279 mm, Gujarat stands at 1243 mm, and Maharashtra stands at 1433 mm. Whereas, if you look at the northeastern states, you will see that Arunachal Pradesh has an average rainfall of 2782 mm, Nagaland stands at 1715 mm, Assam stands at 2409 mm, Manipur stands at 1454 mm, and Meghalaya stands at 3294 mm. Mizoram stands at 2794 mm, and similar is the case with Tripura with 2228 mm. So as you can clearly see, the rainfall in the northeast is almost double as that of Gujarat and Maharashtra. On top of that, there is also the Brahmaputra river that has a high flood carrying capacity due to its extraordinary volumes of water. And then, to make this even more tricky, this region also has a lot of hilly and mountainous terrain that again contributes to the flooding. This is because the water from the monsoon rains flows down the valley that causes the river to overflow. In addition to that, the drainage of this region is not so good. As a result, this is what happens to Northeast very, very frequently.
Now, a severe flood alert has been issued across Assam with the Brahmaputra river flowing above danger level.
In Arunachal Pradesh, incessant pre-monsoon rain over the past few days has triggered landslides.
For over a week now, the people of Assam have been suffering. As we speak, Assam is struggling to cope with floods.
The flood situation in Assam and neighbouring Arunachal Pradesh is turning grim with every passing hour.
Why is that every year around the time of monsoons, life comes to a complete standstill in Assam? What makes flooding so deadly in Assam?
And lastly, there is also the problem of insurgency in the Northeast. For example, in Nagaland, there is this group called National Socialistic Council of Nagaland, which has been fighting for the independence of Nagaland. And since the 1950s, this insurgency has resulted into thousands of deaths and has disrupted the economic and social development in Nagaland. Similarly, in Assam, there is the United Liberation Front of Ashom, which has been designated as a terrorist organization by the Indian government. And the same organization even operated in Manipur. So all of this put together, when there is very less connectivity, very bad weather that causes flooding, and when there is a security issue due to insurgency, you tell me, if you were the CEO of Tata or Reliance, when you have less riskier and more developed states like Maharashtra and Gujarat, would you risk betting thousands of crores of investment to set up a plant in the Northeast? No, right? This is the reason why, even if the government gives out incentives, industrialists prefer other states in India rather than the Northeast. Now the question is, when the Northeast has so many challenges, why the hell is China so interested in Arunachal Pradesh? Well, as it turns out, while India geographically has a lot of challenges to connect with Arunachal Pradesh, China does not have a problem with connecting to Arunachal Pradesh at all. Why? While we have only chicken neck access to the Northeast, China actually shares a long border with Arunachal Pradesh. And because of that, it's much easier for them to connect mainland China to Arunachal Pradesh than it is for us to connect Arunachal Pradesh with the rest of India. Secondly, Arunachal Pradesh's strategic location gives it a military advantage. If you look at this map, it is located near the tri-junction of India, China and Bhutan, and it sits on the eastern end of the Himalayan mountain range. So its mountainous terrain and its location in the eastern Himalayas could make it very difficult for an enemy to access or to defend against an attack. This is the reason why China has invested heavily into infrastructure in the border regions, including those near Arunachal Pradesh. A classic example of the same is China's National Highway 219, also called as Xinjiang-Tibet Highway. This highway passes through the disputed area of Aksai Chin and all the way above Nepal. It connects Kashgar to Lhasa as shown on this map and is the highest road in the world with an altitude of 5,000 meters. This is connected to other highways such as the Yunnan-Tibet Highway, which connects Lhasa to Markham. And if you look at the map, it comes very, very close to the border region of Arunachal Pradesh. These highways give China's military an upper hand if it's trying to mobilize resources and equipment in case of a conflict. On top of that, China's armed forces have also been developing their road, rail and air connectivity as well as 5G mobile network in this region. For example, China has constructed a sealed road leading from Tangwu New Village within 150 meters of the LAC Ridge line, and this is right across the strategically located Yatsé in the Tawang sector of Arunachal Pradesh. So now they can swiftly deploy their troops in this region. In fact, they've already started conducting several drills along the border since the past 1 year. If this was not enough, satellite images show that China has constructed a cluster of at least 60 buildings as well as a new village consisting of 101 homes approximately 4.5 kilometers within Arunachal Pradesh territory. And finally, the Siliguri corridor connecting the northeastern region to India is simply 60 kilometers in length and 22 kilometers in width at its narrowest point. So with a plain terrain without natural or man-made obstacles, this patch makes defense a real challenge if we have a clash with China. And China would easily be able to cut off India's singular route to this region. So overall, China has taken a number of steps to connect with Arunachal Pradesh through infrastructural development. So this begs the question, what the hell is India doing to fix these problems? Well, this is where the Prime Minister of India made the grand announcement of the 6 pillars of connectivity to the northeastern regions.
हम सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास इस मंत्र को लेकर पूरी जिम्मेवारी और संवेदना के साथ जो भी हमसे बन सके हम समस्याओं को सुलझाने में लगे हुए हैं।
the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, has recognized the infinite possibilities of these states and has given the highest priority to the development of the 8 northeastern states.
पूर्वोत्तर को आखिरी नहीं बल्कि सर्वोच्च प्राथमिकता मिलती है.
The Government of India has taken several concrete steps for the development of the northeast states, especially in providing connectivity through rail, road, air and waterways. Mobile and broadband connectivity is being ensured in the entire northeastern region.
As work begins on the ambitious Arunachal Frontier Highway, some of India's other key projects in the northeast, especially Arunachal Pradesh, are nearing completion.
The first pillar is air connectivity, and for this, the Government of India has the UDAN scheme whereby from financial years 2016-17 to 2021-22, a total of 28 connectivity projects have been completed in the region at a cost of 979 crore rupees. And 15 more projects worth 2,212 crore rupees are currently under the process of completion. Then, for rail connectivity, the government has sanctioned 19 projects for a total length of 1,909 kilometers with a budget allocation of 77,930 crores, which are at different stages of implementation. But up to March 2022, a total of 409 kilometers length has been commissioned at an expenditure of 30,000 crores. This includes 14 new line projects of 361 kilometers length at an expenditure of 27,458 crores. Along with that, we also have 5 multi-tracking projects covering a length of 48 kilometers at an expenditure of 2,854 crores. Then, for telecom connectivity, a total of 1,358 towers are being installed to cover 1,246 villages. And cherry on the cake, we also have water connectivity projects coming up, whereby India is building national waterway from Brahmaputra river from Dhubri at Bangladesh border to Sadia at a cost of 461 crores from 2020 to 2025. Then, River Barak has been declared as National Waterway 16 and it connects Silchar, Karimganj and Badarpur in Assam with Haldia and Kolkata ports through the Indo-Bangladesh Protocol route. These facilities would cost us another 145 crores from 2020 to 2025. And the fun fact is that because of the work done by the government in the past 8 years, Nagaland got its second railway station after a gap of more than 100 years. This is what now connects Nagaland to Arunachal Pradesh via Assam. And guess what? In 2022, Manipur got free train connectivity for the first time in 75 years, and Sikkim also got its first airport in 2019. And overall, while in 2014-15, while the yearly budget allocation for the development of northeastern states was just 24,819 crore rupees, in 2021-22 it rose to 70,874 crore rupees. This is a 285% increase in the past 8 years alone. This is what India is doing to counter or prepare for the Chinese aggression in the northeast. And this brings us to the last part of the episode, and that are the study materials to help us understand this Indo-China conflict better. But before we move on, let me thank our knowledge partner Study IQ. Study IQ is a leading company in providing quality education to the students that are preparing for UPSC Civil Services examination. And they have done such a legendary job that today, quality education for UPSC preparation is available in every nook and corner of the country, and that too at an affordable price. Their courses include UPSC IAS Live Foundation batches in bilingual and Hindi language, and they have various optional courses like political science and international relation, geography, sociology and history, and they also have a crash course for prelims. The best part is that the Live Foundation batches have 1,000 plus live classes with one-on-one mentorship to clear both the academic and non-academic doubts of the students. And all of this is with a regular answer writing practice with evaluation and weekly tests to enhance your MCQ solving ability. They also provide notes, PPTs and handmade notes for comprehensive revision of all the students in the community. And Study IQ's current affairs program covers important portions of the prelims and mains syllabus as well. So if you're somebody who wants to get the best in class teaching at affordable price for your UPSC preparation, do check out Study IQ's courses either on their website or on their app. And trust me guys, you will be surprised by the affordable price of quality education that is being provided by Study IQ. So do check them out from the link in the description. Moving on to the study materials, the first thing that I'm attaching is a thinkschool episode which will actually help you understand the economic impact of this military conflict that we're having with China. Because while most people think of this to be yet another military conflict, there's actually a very big role of economics behind it, without which we cannot fight China. Watch this case study and you will understand why economics is more powerful than patriotism. Secondly, I am attaching a list of government initiatives in the Northeast that you need to keep an eye on in order to keep a check on the current government, so that they don't just utilize these announcements as marketing gimmicks for the elections. And lastly, I am attaching a study IQ playlist which will help you understand Northeast better. So do have a look at them and let me know what you think. That's all from my side for today, guys. If you learned something valuable, please make sure to hit the like button in order to make YouTube Baba happy. And for more such insightful business and geopolitical case studies, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.